All right, with the introduction of Madani Economic Framework as well as the finalizations of Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone JSSEZ later this year, the country's effort to attract foreign direct investment FDI is more crucial than ever. As the country and the government seeks to enhance Malaysia's global competitiveness and appeal to international investors, and help may come from an expected quarter, or should we say cubicle. And right now, we want to explore of how much of an impact can a co-working space make on local economy. With that, I welcome you. Our guest ready on the line is Lee Xia Liang, the founder and CEO of Infinity 8. I want to say thank you very much, Lee, for joining me. Firstly, talking about how co-working space make an impact on local economy, especially how can co-working space facilitate a foreign investment, and how these spaces both tie in and support the Malaysian government Madani Economic Framework and its objective to retain and attract FDI. Please, Lee.
Hi everyone, I'm very honored to be here. My name is Lee Xia Liang and I'm the founder and CEO of Infinity 8. We run co-working spaces and we currently have 10 branches across JB, KL and Penang. So we term ourselves as a flexible workspace operator, and how we ease the business, the ease of doing business towards the foreign companies. So we basically act as an accelerator for these foreign companies to be integrated with the local Malaysian businesses. What we provide is very flexible contracts to all these businesses. We also provide other enterprise solutions to these businesses, such as HR services, payroll, recruitment and headhunting, and other corporate services as a whole. So space solutions is just one of them. So in terms of how we align with the government initiative in the SEZ discussion, so that is basically what we are doing and how we can ease these companies in terms of doing business.
And what are the long-term financial advantage of using a co-working space other than traditional offices lease?
I think the long-term financial advisors is definitely how they are able to stay very agile. Say, for example, the post-COVID, a lot of companies are placing a lot of premium on, especially bigger companies, they are placing a lot of premium on the agility of the company. So when we talk about the agility of the company, it basically means how you are able to be very flexible and how you are able to shrink or expand very fast. So I quote you an example on how this can be done on, let's say for instance, this company need 10 to 20 packs as a start for a founding team, and how they are able to scale this founding team into 100 to 200 packs when it comes to taking more projects, or how they are able to, after undertaking a 36 months project, to shrink to another size of company of, let's say, 100 or 50. So this allows them to actually have the flexibility and the agility of entering the market and exceeding the market at the same time. So I think agility is the key word.
And what can also be the practical benefits and scalability of co-working space for a large-scale international projects we can see?
Yeah, so it's very similar to the question just now and the answer just now, and how we are able to ensure scalability is there for all these large-scale businesses. So they are able to use our services and integrated services to hire, to talk about their talent solutions, to talk about how they are able to plan together with us the phases of their business operating in Malaysia, and how different phases will affect their different decision-making process. So that is how we are assisting these large-scale projects to actually facilitate their scalability.
And we want to understand a little bit further, how can co-working space contribute to a broader economic landscape by providing the necessary infrastructure and even support for both local and even foreign businesses, not only for the short term, but also for the long term?
I think in terms of how we are able to support that is how we are acting as a springboard of these businesses, and how this springboard can then be something that is being integrated with how they are planning towards a long-term planning. Let's say, for example, they are planning a 5 years project, and how they want to come into the market let's say it's a manufacturing company, and this manufacturing company, they're building their plant, how we are able to be the bridge of them when during the completion of the plant and before the completion of the plant. And post, let's say post complete construction, what we are able to do is also to offer the business continuity plan in terms of separating their workforce. So a lot of these foreign companies, they are really looking at separating their workforce into 2 or 3 locations, some satellite hubs. And in terms of their long-term planning, this can be part of the purpose and part of the achievement that they are able to achieve.
Definitely the changes, the solution transformation is more crucial after post-pandemic. Maybe you can briefly share with us the evolving role of co-working space in the post-pandemic business environment, and how did they plan to adapt the changes and their needs?
Okay, sure. I think post-pandemic, a lot of corporates, especially MNCs and bigger enterprises, they are looking at how they are able to stay afloat, as well as how they are able to be integrated to the local businesses. So what we are, pre-COVID, we are seeing a lot of refusal, I would say, to use co-working spaces because pandemic didn't happen, and there wasn't a time that you can't go to offices. So what we are acting as a partner with all these corporate and all these bigger enterprises is post-pandemic, how we are able to facilitate their growth and facilitate their strategies in terms of their growth, and how they are more and more accepting the concept of co-working spaces. So let's say I quote you an example on how during the pandemic, a lot of essential services, Nina, do you remember during the pandemic, essential services are allowed to work?
Yes.
And they are, but if there is any case in the office or in the premise, they need to be closed down for like 14 days, right? So that was something that was pretty inconvenient for them when it comes to operating essential services. So I think post pandemic, this not only these essential services, non-essential services, they are also more accepting of this idea of parking part of their shared service in a co-working space and working together with a flexible workspace operator like us.
And then we want to take a look at the long-term visions. What's next? What's your plan for growth and to continue to support the Malaysian economic development through the co-working innovative solutions? Are we looking at a big solution, maybe ongoing working in progress? Maybe you can share with us.
Sure. I think we, like I mentioned in the earlier context, like how we are not only looking at providing space solutions, and how we are also looking at providing a full suite of service to, and how that would be contributing to integrating the FDIs into Malaysia and also the Malaysian company as a whole, not only on FDI, right? So not only we are now providing space solutions, we are also talking about providing other corporate solutions to businesses. So at the end of the day, we are being seen as a one-stop service and one-stop. Have you heard of this term, service apartment? Like
apartment, yes.
Service with a D, right? So it's service apartment. So what we aim to do is eventually to become a service corporate, like how we are able to be a service corporate center. So we are able to service these corporates in terms of their space solutions, in terms of their HR solutions, in terms of their EOR solutions and their talent solutions. So that can be something that is really easing them in terms of growing their business and focusing their key on their the core business itself.
And maybe lastly, how do you foresee maybe the future of co-working space after this? What kind of trends we will be seeing, the challenges that we must face, and what are some of the best practices that we can learn from other countries that can adapt within the Malaysian context when we talk about co-working innovative solutions?
Sure. So during the pandemic, we can't go to work, right? And I think phase by phase, a lot of companies have been going through a revamp in terms of their real estate solutions and their real estate portfolio. So let's say, for example, the beginning of the opening, maybe 70% of the workforce is able to go back. And then we were doing a lot of hybrid working. And hybrid working, post-hybrid working, I think now a lot of companies are practicing 100% workforce to be back Monday to Friday, right? So, and eventually how some of them, some of the departments, they will just put under hybrid, but some, they will necessitate them to be going back to the office 100%. So in terms of the future outlook of co-working spaces, we definitely think that it is there to stay and it is there to grow together with the Malaysian business. And post-pandemic, even post the current geopolitical situation, I would say Malaysia is being positioned as a very advantageous position in terms of how we are able to service the global businesses and how different companies and more and more nature of business and more foreign companies coming into Malaysia to set up their office, because the truth is we have a lot of talent and our cost efficiency is there. And in terms of the workforce, the population of the workforce and the quality of the workforce is there. So I would say the future of co-working spaces will be really seeing a lot of traction, and there will be really a lot of these co-working spaces to be, there will be some consolidation, just that how we are able to eventually turn more corporates into flexible working.
And this is a very insightful sharing. Again, I want to say thank you very much for helping us understand how a co-working space plays an integral in the Malaysia's economic development. And definitely, again, I want to say thank you very much to Lee Xia Liang, the founder and CEO of Infinity 8. And definitely all of our discussion here will be featured in astro.com and across all social media platforms.